Hello and welcome to my studio for my third live event. This is Jessie from the Knit Up and Die podcast, and we're going to see if anybody joins this evening. Hopefully people had a chance. It's been a little crazy in my house so far tonight. We got home to discover that there was a major water main break up the street, and so we have no water. That made dinner a little interesting. You don't realize how much you rely on the tap. Oh, goodness. I don't really have any direction because this is just the live, and you guys get to drive it. If you're joining me, pop in, say hello. Hey, Cappy. Hi, how are you? Hi, Ray. Hi, Mom. I get to show off the sock I just finished. Hi, Neetsy. I finished a sock today. I'm very excited about it. It is another one of the Squircle pattern. It does that really cool heel that I'm just so infatuated with that enables the yarn to just stripe in a really cool 45-degree angle. And to avoid second sock syndrome, I immediately cast on my next one. That way you don't end up with just one sock. You're always moving ahead. Cappy, you've never done a live before? I really like them. It's fun because you guys kind of get to drive the conversation and ask me questions and get a live response right here, as well as have the opportunity to interact with each other. And that's fun. I love seeing everybody getting to know each other because otherwise it's always kind of one-sided where I know you guys, but you don't know each other. And that's why I'm looking forward to doing the mixer in August. And I'm also looking forward to doing the ornament exchange this holiday season. I've had a really good response on that. I think I'm going to do that. So far, it looks like what we're going to do is, if people are interested, they'll make 6 ornaments. And then I will be breaking the group up so that everybody will end up with 6 ornaments. They will give 6, they'll get 6. And we're looking to do knit and crochet ornaments, and I think that's just going to be so cool to have handmade ornaments that go out and meet their people like that. It'll be fun. But I've had a really, really good response to that. Awesome. Thank you, Cappy. I look forward to doing that with you. I'll probably be asking people if they're willing to do 6, wonderful, and they can be a part of the exchange. But there's always that need for angel donations, sort of. Hi, Erica. So if anybody wanted to do more than 6, then we would be able to cover if anybody had to drop out at the last minute. And so if anybody did like 1 extra, that would cover that. Yes, they can be different, absolutely. Because I will be receiving all the ornaments. What'll happen is if you had, say, like a green ball and a red ball and a blue ball and a purple ball, whatever, everything that was yours would get spread out over everybody else, and you would end up with a completely unique set yourself. And they're not going to know whether you did 4 red ornaments and 1 white one or not. They're just going to get a handmade ornament from you. So they can be different. I know a couple people were talking about doing crocheted snowflakes, which are amazing, absolutely beautiful. And certainly, I don't know about them being all identical. I think if I sat down and I made 6 identical ornaments, I'd lose my mind. So certainly, having a variety is fine. Felted is great. I'm good with felted. I think what I'm going to draw the line at, though, is I really love the idea of them just being handmade. I don't know if I want to draw the line where we're going to do specifically knit, crochet, felted, or if we're going to allow sewn or not. It really kind of depends on you guys and what you want to do and whether you're comfortable with that or if you really want it to be very homespun, very truly fine arts. Oh, that's going to be beautiful, Nancy. I'm very excited about that. I am not a crocheter. It's interesting because I learned to crochet when I was very little. I learned to knit first and then I learned to crochet. And it just, yeah, I like it for some things, but it just hasn't held me like knitting has. I it bothers my hand actually more than anything. Something about the posture that I hold when I crochet, it really irritates my hand. Let me correct this a little bit. I feel like my head is sitting at the bottom of the screen. There we go. Hi. But I have had a really good response. A couple people filled out the survey on my Ravelry group. A couple people messaged me directly, Instagram, emails. A couple people messaged me on Ravelry. So it's looking to be really good. I suspect that we're going to have a bigger group than, we'll probably have around 12 people. And that's why I'm going to split it at 6 so that you're not feeling obligated to make 12 ornaments. I think that's just too much. I think 6 is a good number, nice half dozen, and then you get a nice half dozen back, and you'll be able to spread them around on your own holiday tree and make it, little vignettes, make it special versus here's the entire tree covered with stuff, and oh my god, my hands are still hurting because I made a million of them. Cappy, what kind of felted objects are you thinking? Are you doing like a ball and felting it, or how does that work? What sort of ornaments are you thinking? And I'm sorry, guys, if the feed is rough tonight. I know we have really, really rough weather. We've got a bad, bad dust storm. The wind has been ungodly, and there's rain happening as well. Not on my side of town. I get the dust, but hopefully it'll come across. But it is interrupting the internet a little bit. It's been a little sketchy. Hopefully, I don't sound like I'm at the bottom of a well. If you've just joined us, feel free to pop in, say hello. I'd love to see that you're here. I can see that we have people, but I can't see who you are, and I'd love to say hi. And forgive me, I am working on my sock. Oh, Gabby, that sounds really, really pretty. Almost like the needle felting where you put a design in on them. Is that what you're talking about? Oh, that sounds beautiful. My sister does some needle felting as well, and I love what she's able to do with them. In fact, she made my little monkey up here, and I just love him. He was a gift, and I'm so thrilled with him. Yeah, I think needle felting is beautiful work, and I have no problem with that being the ornaments. It's still fiber related. I'm good with that. And if you have multiple people in your household, like Cappy, if your mom wanted to do something, not a problem. Add her on. We'll do this. The more the merrier. So I'm working on the Squircle sock pattern. The pattern is made. Oh, I love the Arnie and Carlos. Erica, those are awesome. Their stuff is beautiful. I love their work. Those are gonna be great. Um, so right now I'm working on my Squircle sock pattern. The pattern is by General Hog Buffer. It is free on Ravelry, and I adore this pattern. Just, it's fun. I can accomplish it by using my 9-inch circulars, and then during the heel has a very large number of stitches, so I go into magic loop for the heel. I'm not a huge fan of magic loop, but it works for this. I just lost my feed, so it'll be just a second before I see you guys again. Feel free to ask questions. Tell me how your day is going. Let me know what you're thinking about doing if you want to be part of the ornament exchange. We're going to try to have a number of, forgive me, community mixers. We're going to do the uh, Knit Pals in August, and in fact, I need to start dyeing up for that. I'm very excited for that. That's going to be a fun project because you won't know who your partner is until all the yarn is bought. Hopefully you guys can still see me. I have lost my feed. It keeps coming back and forth. I did see very, very briefly somebody had left a message. Are they fun? Is it color work or do they have it worked up so it's mosaic, Erica? So, Rachel, the details to the ornament exchange are really, really rough right now. I'm really just trying to gauge interest. I will probably sort out our deadline. I know that the count for ornaments is going to be 6 at this point. So I'm not entirely sure. I think what I want to do is set the deadline. I wrote down what I was thinking the other day. I think I want everybody to be able to ship to me by the beginning of November so that I can get everything swapped out and back out to everybody so that they can get it on their trees. I know a number of people like to put their tree up right at Thanksgiving. Some people like to put their tree up at the beginning of December and have it all month long. I want to be sure that we hit that so that people have the ornaments in time for what they usually do as their personal traditions. So we'll see what that is. Need to see what base will it be on. Are you talking about the I'm sorry, the knit swap where sorry, I'm drawing a total blank. The Knit Pals mixer. Thank you. Uh, I'm not sure. I think we're going to do it on fingering weight. I did have a couple of people suggest to me that they might want it on worsted. We're going to look at that a little bit closer once we get ready to do the actual sign up. If everybody's good with fingering, we're going to do that. If a couple people want worsted, I may try to do that. My concern with that, worsted or DK, my concern with that is if only a couple people want it, then it's going to be hard for me to create a colorway for 2 people that are already predestined. Not really sure. I'm not really sure. We will explore that a little bit more as we get a little bit closer to that. I guess I probably shouldn't be dying yet until we sort that out. Niti, were you hoping for fingering or were you looking for another base? I did see your message earlier today. Thank you. I will get back to you hopefully tonight. I need to look at my bases. Yes, I can do the colorway that you were requesting on any base. I haven't had a chance to look at the pattern that you suggested. I do not have a blend DK base that is, oh, thank you. Twist is beautiful, isn't it? I don't have a blend base that's like a nylon in the DK. I do have superwash on the DK, and that is fantastic for that colorway because it just makes the colors pop. It really holds on to them. Yes, Erica, that's kind of what I mean is that they already they would not only have the base in common, but they'd have the color in common, and they'd both be asking for the same thing. So if I had 2 people that wanted worsted weight and one of them wanted green yarn and another one wanted pink yarn, I'd be kind of in a pickle because then I wouldn't have a nice even swap for them. Not really sure how that's going to work out. I may just do a variety and have DKs and have twists and have all kinds of different yarns in there and let y'all just sort out what you want. That's an interesting idea, Erica. Instead of just having them choose their knit pal by color, have them choose the knit pal by base. That's an opportunity as well. We may do that in a future mixer versus doing it with the colors this time and see how that works out for us. That's a neat idea because then they have a totally different thing in common and would end up with different people theoretically. Neat. I like the idea. That's what I think that would work nice. My only concern with that particular yarn and doing that particular yarn colorway and doing something like that is that you may have sections that have a lot more color and other sections that have a lot less color, and you're really going to want to uh, mix your skeins as you're working on that. Otherwise, you could end up with a big section that's white and then crazy noise and another big section. It could really, it's an interesting colorway. It doesn't have any control at all. Oh, it's crocheted. That's going to make a big difference. Number one, it's not as much fun to carry multiple skeins together, but because it's crocheted and because it's using up more yarn for each stitch, it's likely to take on. The colors are going to bunch differently, and you're not going to see the same pooling and flashing. Yes, it does happen in crochet, but not the same way. You're likely to get, though, because the dashes of color are much shorter in this, you're likely to get multiple colors in a single stitch versus lines, dashes of color over 2 stitches, 3 stitches as you go along. And I'm sorry that I didn't have time to review that before I got to the live tonight. So I recognize that you say half double crochet. My knowledge of crochet is interesting. Unbeknownst to me until very, very recently, there is actually a difference in English as in UK crochet and American crochet. In certain stitches, the names overlap and they're called different things. And I was taught the UK version of crochet, not the American version of crochet or what the rest of the world does. And so half crochet is one of the ones I do wrong just because I call it, I know what the stitch is, but it's not the same stitch you guys do. And I just recently learned that is a thing. They are off by 1 inch or by 1 wrap. I suspect it's a wrap. Kathy, take your time, not a problem. I'm just so thrilled that somebody actually knows what I'm talking about. When I discovered this difference in the crochets, I was so confused. I was like, I crocheted a sweater for my son before he was born, and now I look at it and I'm like, did I do that right? It fit him. It was wonderful, but Yeah, there's something about counting the wraps that I overwrap, I guess, for English versus UK or whatever. That's yeah. There's something screwy there where it's double or triple. Hi, mom. Perfect. That's it. So yeah, I do too much. I wrap too much. I my stitches are too big, too tall. I get all exuberant. I like the action of it. I'm not particularly happy with the fabric that it makes, and that may be just what I'm doing, whether it's a tensioning issue or personal choice. But I do get a wicked hand cramp doing it, and I don't know what I think I was taught, and I was like really tense doing it or something. So yeah, I've got the other hand up. Hold when you crochet. And that, like, because I do it wrong, huh, or I do it different, there's no such thing as wrong. When I try to follow patterns, especially if it's something in the round, I blow it all up. I'm curious about the charting, though, if that would help me. Certainly, I'd need to have a stitch reference and look at the stitches to be sure I was doing it right. But I haven't tried to crochet in years. Years. Last thing I crocheted, I worked in a call center, and I hadn't knit in years. I hadn't crocheted in years, and times were slow at the call center, and so I decided I should have a project, something that I could do that I could just set down. And I happened to pick up one of those how to crochet books, and it had a very simple granny square in it. And so I bought some red heart yarn in a bright red and sat down at my phone cubicle and started a mammoth granny square. I just went bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and basically made a blanket a throw for my dog. Got really big. I've lost the feed again. I know you guys are there, but I can't see your messages. So I'm basically going to run my mouth for a few minutes. What kind of love have I given to other projects this week? None. Really, I've only had a chance to work on my sock thus far, but I'm really happy with that. And this thus far, I haven't had a chance to touch my sweater. I haven't had a chance to look at the stripes on the farmhouse yet. I've got a whole bunch of yarns that I need to label up and get out. Oh, I do have my trip to Wisconsin coming up very soon. I'm very excited about that. I just got those dates locked in, so that's coming. Are those crochet hooks, Cappy, bigger? Is it maybe that's what it is? Is I have a large hand, and maybe I'm over tightening when I'm using it. And maybe the bigger handle helps. That's what I love about charting in knitting, in basically any craft. The chart is visual, and so as long as you know what the symbols are, you're good to go. I love that. So I think now that I think about it, the crochet charts would make sense because they have the hatch marks to talk about wraps. So it wouldn't matter. I wouldn't have to know that it's a half double or whatever. I'd look at it and see the wraps, right? That makes more sense to me. That's probably a lot of my problem, Cappy, is that the crochet hooks I have are not ergonomic. They are just really inexpensive aluminum crochet hooks, and that's probably exactly what's wrong. Is my body can only handle so much. I'm one of those people that if I'm going to sit down to craft, well, that's going to be 8 hours of my life. What do you mean, do it in small bouts and get up and stretch? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? I usually get up when my body has given up and gone, "Excuse me, you need to use the loo," which is how I got myself into my shoulder situation, was overuse and an injury at the same time. I'm not entirely sure how I injured it initially. The possibility that I did it in a minor motorcycle crash is very likely. It's also very likely I did it just throwing the ball for the dog. I honestly don't know what the initiating rotator cuff tear is, but combine that with overuse and you end up not knitting for a while. Cappy, you're too sweet. Thank you. My absolute favorite crochet hook is tiny. I use it for adding beads on lace weight yarn. And I can't even imagine there being a ergonomic version of that one because I can barely see the hook on the end of it. It's really one of those that you just have to trust. Put the needle through, hope the yarn snags, and in you go. But I prefer to add beads to my knitting with a crochet hook rather than preloading it on the yarn. I find that it's just too hard on the yarn to have 300 beads strung to the line first and then run them down and place them as you go. I do like beads in my knitting. I just don't do it very often. It's always really, really pretty in lace shawls. It's just such a lovely accent. I need to figure out what I'm doing for Christmas ornaments. Maybe I'll do something with beads in them. My apologies, guys. I've lost you again. I keep losing that chat feed, so I see you and try to race through real quick. What is the Flegel beater? Tell me about that. Is that like, I saw something where people use like the dental floss loops, the fixed loops for bridges, and they bead with that. I am so sorry, guys. This feed just keeps dumping out on me, and I cannot see you guys. It flips up real quick, and just about the time my eyes focus, it's gone. Hopefully, while they're repairing the water main that's busted up the street, they don't take out our internet in the process. And hopefully, they fix that very, very soon. We have no water. We came home to discover we have no water, and that made dinner interesting. We both have work tomorrow, and the local gym, should we decide to go and sign up in order to use the locker rooms, is also suffering from the water main break. So that's out. I wish it would rain. I'd gather some rainwater. Oh wow! So Nisi, I'm responding to Nisi. Nisi is talking about the Flegel beater. So she says that you can preload it with about 25 beads at a time. That sounds really cool. I will definitely have to look into that. That sounds really cool. So you'd have all the beads preloaded onto the device. You put it through. Trying to think how this would work. You would catch the yarn and draw it through, draw the bead down on, and just knit the stitch. That would make that so much faster. I will definitely have to look into that. Truck stops have showers, you're right. The problem being that the most close truck stop to me is not close enough. Um, it would be a good half-hour drive for me just to get there. I think there's one down at the casino off of I-40. It's about a 40-minute drive. I love the Boo shawls. I love her work. I have one of her whole collections that I bought years ago. I have not knit a single one of them. They are so beautiful. I knit one of hers years ago now, but I bought the collection with this wild idea that I wanted to knit a whole bunch of her work and haven't done them. Cappy, that's exactly how I do mine. Yeah, there's not a local truck stop. There are a number of gyms. I can always go in and do the first week free. We have so many main breaks out here. I'm quite sure that they probably have just a shower fee, and I can go into the gym. I feel like there's a gym on every corner. With changes to the Healthcare Act to include the gym membership, every intersection is Walgreens, CVS, and a gym. So there's plenty between me and work. I suspect they'll get it up and running pretty quick, though. Trying to think what I would do with beads in an ornament, because I'd likely do a knitted ornament. Maybe I would do like a ball and stuff it and have beads go around as part of the design. That would be really pretty. I am not going to the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool. I wish I could. I will be going up to Wisconsin in September. I'll be going to the Unwound shop up there. Unwound supports me. They carry my yarns in the store. And I will be likely teaching a dyeing class while I'm there. I'm very excited about that. I think we're going to dye sock blanks. That will be great fun. Hoping to do that there with them. I need to organize and book and schedule and get the plans all hammered out with the shop. They are just wonderful. I really love them. I'm hoping to pop into a couple other shops while I'm up there and maybe catch up with a couple of friends as well. There's a few internet friends that I'd like to meet while I'm up there. It's going to be all about timing. Last year when I went to Wisconsin, I actually flew into La Crosse. I won't be doing that this year. I'll be flying into Minneapolis and then driving over. That'll be new for me as well. I haven't done that, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's a beautiful, beautiful time of year up there, and I have never been there during that time of year. I'm excited to see more of the countryside. I'm excited to see more of the land and get around to some other places as well. So I feel like I have this big look on my face while I just wait for the feed to reload. I'm sorry. This is really just off the cuff live, and I don't have any set spiel. I don't have any set topics to discuss. This is just whatever you guys make it and whatever we feel like chatting about as we sit and have a little quiet, crafty time. I really wish my feed would stay up so I could see what you guys are talking about. Let's see if I can. Needsy, you are too kind. Oh my goodness, thank you. I'm excited to see that. And I can't wait to see your pins and your buttons. I am thrilled. I will be showing those off as soon as I get them, and I they will they're gonna be cool. I'm very excited about your buttons. Cappy needs to you 2 need to get together. Nancy, I did have, somebody who is a non-knitter get in touch with me and ask me if you did earrings as well. I told them to contact you via Etsy. Oh, Erica, awesome. Is it an epic bind off or is it reasonable? I can't remember how long that one is. I haven't done an exploration station. Honestly, I don't think I have knit anything Stephen West. Um, I love his Rockefeller shawl. Someday I hope to do that one. It's really about time. I just, I need to manufacture time. If I could knit time, if I could make time out of yarn. Yes, Cappy, she is. She's the one that did those amazing stitch markers that were in the little tin. They are fabulous. Totally snag free. Uh, really pretty. Nice set, good count, good value. The tin is fantastic. Contents are even better. I love them. That's a great cast off, Erica. I love the stretchiness of that one. That's probably my favorite go-to bind off. Some people have told me, oh, you need to do the um, sewn bind off for it to be stretchy. Yeah, I like that one. That one's the best. I alternate it depending on which way I want the end to curl with the purl two together pass back. That works really well. And I like where the needle position lands on that one, where your needle is while you're doing it. Necessity is the mother of invention, and you came up with a great one. I am so thrilled with those. Did Forgive me for asking, did you have the details about the tin in your listing? Because I somehow completely missed that, and I was absolutely delighted when I opened up that package and I found those tins. That made it for me. Often when I buy stitch markers, they come on just a card, and then I've got no real way to contain them. And sometimes I like to keep certain markers separate from other markers so I can quickly find what I was looking for. And that did it for me. And somehow when I was looking at your listings, I completely missed the tin. I don't even know what I was thinking. I probably was just so thrilled with beads. I was like, oh, Millie Fiore, oh, buy, 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 buy. You hit it, Nitsi, you hit it. They stand out. I'm very excited about the giveaway. Yeah, Erica, I like the pearl. It just puts it in a nice position for me, um, where it's just right in front of me there, and it brings it. So when you're knitting it, it curls it toward you. So if you're on the right side and you're binding off, it's going to curl that edge a little bit toward you. Whereas if you're on the right side and you curl it, it rolls it a little bit to the back, so you get a little bit less of that hem curl. I just like the way it lays. I really love that. Ah, look, we are, instigating business deals. All right. I'm thrilled that Nitsi and Cappy found each other. I think there's a strong bond to be found there. Cappy also does a podcast. Cappy, I'm a couple episodes behind, but I do love your podcast. Nancy, I have some label sources for you. Um, I get my stuff from, I'm drawing an utter blank. I will message you. I will message you. I have a company that I buy my monkey labels from, and they are phenomenal. If you haven't seen my monkey stickers, I've got one on my car that has been on there for well over a year, and it has held up beautifully in the beating desert sun. I also get the labels that I put on the packages from them, as well as my pins. They're fast. Sticker Mule, that's what they're called, Sticker Mule. They do specials all the time that are just a great, great deal. And you can buy stickers on the roll for really affordable prices, full color print, and they're really good about you upload the you upload your art and they come back to you with proofs really, really quick. I think that they can match your sizing, and they do the rounded corners, and there is a shine to them. So absolutely, you'll want to check out Sticker Mule. They have a broad variety that they do. They even have clear ones now, as well as the white back ones. Definitely check with them. It's a great company. I've used them now for, oh gosh, I've been using them now for about 2 years, I think. My husband surprised me for Christmas with stickers from them 2 years ago, and as soon as I saw them, they were wonderful. Sticker Mule, MULE.com. And otherwise, you might want to check with Vistaprint, but Vistaprint is a little bit pricier, and I don't know if they have quite a variety of stickers. The stickers are just really high quality coming out of Sticker Mule, and it's a solid, good product. I highly recommend that company. You are very welcome, always. I love to tell other people about good companies and good products that I use, and whether that's yarn or stitch markers or beaders, um, buttons, shawl pins. Uh, I, if I find a good company, if I find a good source, I will always tell you about it and be honest about who they are, what they are. If I find a bad company, I'm not likely to say anything. And if you ask me specifically about a bad company, I'll simply say, well, this company does really good work, and direct you to somebody else. And I'll always tell you if I straight up don't know. If I don't know, I will either try to get you an answer or tell you I don't know. I should be paying attention. All of a sudden, I'm going to be way off. Don't you love knitting in the round? It never ends. You just get to keep going. Cappy, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you for joining all of us, and I hope you made some good connections here tonight. We'll see you next time, and I'll be catching up on your episodes really soon. Bye. Whew, it's warm in here tonight. Probably because we don't have our swamp cooler on. The house is cooled by evaporative cooler here. That requires water. We have no water, therefore we have no cooling system. Does anybody have any other questions for me? Any other topics that they wish to discuss? All right, we're at about 45 minutes. Things are really quiet, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the night. I will be doing an episode again this weekend. Feel free to message me if you have any other questions. And I'm going to call it a night. Thank you all very much for joining me. I hope you had fun. I hope you made good connections. And I will see you later. The live won't be this weekend. The next live will be on the following weekend. So this weekend will be the regular pre-recorded episode. It'll be the following weekend. And I'm sorry, I do not have my time and date in front of me. It is... Actually, it might be the weekend after. I think we're scheduled for the 28th for the next live. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you then. Bye.